The unrest in Ferguson following Michael Brown's killing has brought the issue of police militarization to the forefront. Images of protesters culled by police with armored vehicles and assault weapons cause many to ask, is this sort of weaponry really needed, or does it just escalate the tension? Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill is calling for hearings into the issue, tweeting, quote, "Today I announced a hearing in September to explore all aspects of military equipment in local police." Now, the equipment McCaskill is referring to includes grenade launchers, Humvees, and even mine-resistant armored vehicles, often for towns where it's hard to imagine these kinds of things are needed. This staggering level of combat weaponry in small-town America has become fodder for comedians, most recently coming into the crosshairs of HBO's John Oliver.
Look at Doraville, Georgia. Population 8,500. The police there got a tank a while back, and up until a few days ago, this video was on the front page of their website. We're gonna stop a burglary at Little Caesars! We're gonna stop a burglary at Little Caesars! The name of that song is, and this is true, Die, Die.
Doraville, Georgia, by the way, covers just 3 square miles, and incidentally, a lawmaker from Georgia has been working on a bill to rein in police militarization for months, long before Michael Brown's shooting and ensuing civil unrest in Ferguson. That man, Congressman Hank Johnson, joins me now from Atlanta. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I noticed you weren't laughing at John Oliver's bit on Doraville.
Well, no, it's the kind of display that when you're trying to run a police department, policing a urban area, do you show up in garb that makes you look like you're ready to go into combat on the streets of Iraq? That's unacceptable.
Your bill, the Stop Militarizing Law Enforcement Act, what exactly would it do?
Well, what it would do is to stop a Pentagon program that transfers surplus military equipment straight from the battlefield to the local law enforcement agency that requests it. And all that agency has to do is to fill out a one-page application and request form. And so long as they can go and pick the equipment up, be it a armed drone or a armored vehicle or a silencer for a pistol, only thing they need to do is to pick it up within 14 days. And it's theirs. No training, no understanding of best practices in terms of when and where and how to use the equipment. And also no accountability. So my legislation would stop this practice of transferring directly from the DOD to a law enforcement agency, bypassing
and you also say, sir, that there's an underlying issue here. In fact, I think that you wrote an article and you said by passing off still good equipment to America's municipal police forces, it allows the defense industry to ask for more funding for more equipment. You say it's like donating a relatively new sweater to Goodwill to allow the purchase of a new yet unnecessary sweater from Macy's. Explain.
Well, we live in a world where armed conflict abroad involving our troops is something that is definitely foreseeable. And so we may need this very equipment that we're transferring away from the DOD to local law enforcement. We may need it for our troops. And if we don't have it, then we have to remanufacture it, which costs more money. And it's got a cost factor about it, this 1033 program. We need to look seriously at it.
And I think the Defense Department is, so we'll see what happens. Georgia State Congressman Hank Johnson, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Back in a minute.